Hi everybody, Paul Pancake here. Welcome back to another speed build on my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You look absolutely exquisite as always, and I'm super glad to show you today's build. I'm very excited because today is actually Valentine's Day 2021, at least the day I'm recording this and uploading this. I don't know, maybe it's not Valentine's Day whenever you're watching this, but I thought that this build would be quite fitting because this is actually the build or like a famous build. Well, is it famous? I don't know, maybe it's famous. I guess it's pretty famous because the series is pretty hyped, but this is the Bridgerton house from the hyped series Bridgerton. It is on Netflix and it's kind of this romance drama, and today's Valentine's Day, so I thought it would be quite fitting to upload it today. And honestly, this build took me a while, so I barely finished it yesterday to make today's upload work, and I'm very happy to show it to you guys. We built a lot of it on stream together. If you didn't know, I stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Saturday. If you want, you can join me there anytime. The link to that is down below in the description. And yeah, we did that together. We figured out the floor plan together. We went through all of it together because this house was just a lot. Like, this house looks pretty big by now, at least for my standards. You guys may know that I usually build like smaller builds, but I wasn't prepared. Like, okay, I feel like I should start with some facts about the house so you kind of understand the way I've built this. So the thing is that this house, like I said, is the house of one of the main characters, Daphne Bridgerton. And yeah, they lived there with their 1,000 siblings, which made it even harder for me because I had to include a ton of bedrooms to make it realistic. And basically, this house does exist in real life, at least the part of it that you're seeing now. It is a house in London. It's called the Ranger's House. I don't actually know a lot more about it. I just know that it exists, and I was able to look up some reference pictures to just help me build it, because in the show it was actually CGI'd into the, I don't know, is it late Victorian? I really don't have a clue about history. Plumbella, please help me. But yeah, basically it was CGI'd into the late Victorian London, into like a row of houses, which in the real life it's not there. It's like at a different place. It's like totally different, but it's a pretty home. And also they either CGI'd that or they just did that like on set, but they added a ton of landscaping to it, like beautiful flowers and beautiful, just a lot of, yeah, very nice decorations that you'll see me add later. But basically, I was able to get the original house just to see how the dimensions worked and stuff, and then I tried to copy it. And that all worked, but I realized quickly that the house was pretty small. Like, as you can see, this is what we're working with right now. I haven't made it any bigger. Also, quick disclaimer, I did cut out the way I created all the floor plans and stuff because it took us hours. Like, honestly, we were on stream for like 2 or 3 hours, 2 times, just working on the floor plan because this house was just used for the exterior shots. There was another house used for the interior shots, which, yeah, is 100 times bigger. Like, it's almost a castle. It's like unbelievable. So I kind of had this cute little house. Well, obviously it's not really little, but like smaller than the house they use for the inside. So I had this house, and I kind of had to try and fit like the inside, like the interior scenes or like the interior set into this house. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but it was very hard because the exterior house was much smaller than the house they used for the interior. That's basically what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Let me take a sip of my tea. Also, a quick side note, I have been watching a lot of deligracy videos lately, and I really like what she's doing in her speed builds, and they're really calming, and she's just, I don't know, she's just sitting there and just talking her way through. She's not trying to be super entertaining and to talk fast to keep the viewer's attention. And I mean, while all of these things are maybe good for you guys because the video is, I don't know, just you may like the video more if I'm like more dynamic or something. But sometimes it's just hard, especially for a long video like this, which is like 32 minutes long, to talk like dynamically and to always know what you're going to talk about next, because I don't have a script or anything. So what Deli does basically is she just sits there with a tea and she just slowly evaluates her thoughts and shares them with her audience, and I think that's like a really, really amazing thing to do. And I really like that way of a calm like voiceover on a speed build. Please feel free to comment if you know what I mean. It's just, yeah, it's a long speed build. I want to try and calm down. So to make this like more of a chill thing, because I recently realized that I really like that, what like Deligracy does, because I was in my kitchen doing some, I don't know, like dishes. By the way, I'm not a native English speaker. That's why sometimes I'm missing some English words. I was doing the dishes and I was just calmingly listening to Deligracy's voiceover and sometimes like peeking over at what kind of house she's building, and I really like that she did that. So I kind of want to be that person too. I kind of want to be inspired by that. I hope you guys are okay with that. So yeah, because I can't always give like 100% in my speed builds. I like in my speed build voiceovers. I know it's probably more interesting for you guys, but for me it's also much more comfortable if I can just be more chilled. I don't know. I'm sorry if this was like too long. If you just wanted to talk, like if you just want me to talk about the build, I'm sorry, but this happens. Yeah, so I think the last thing where we left off was that the exterior house is much smaller than the house they used for the interior shots. So this house is going to be twice as large as what you're seeing now. And yeah, I kind of usually like to figure out the floor plan and the whole shebang, like the whole layout of the house before decorating the exterior, because as you can see I'm already doing a lot of like custom stuff with these shelves around it and using it as like a trim. And yeah, I usually like to lay out the house first and to like have it done so I know what I'm working with, because eventually I'll have to change stuff, and if I've already done all the decoration it could be a pain. So yeah, but for this house it was just so intriguing to do the decoration already, because I was actually feeling like that this was slowly starting to work out like the way I planned it. I was very happy that it started to look similar to the original. Sorry that oh, I don't know what that was, I'm sorry. But I just want to say that I was pretty happy to see that it was kind of turning out nicely and similar to the reference. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry it took me so long to get there, but and that way I just had to add like all the ivy and the landscaping and those flower boxes in front of the windows, because that's like something that the original house has, and I think it's really, really charming. Like it's maybe not that realistic. I guess these townhouses, especially in London, have been, well, like it's like they are like these posh big houses. They would probably not be as overgrown and stuff, but this is like also a thing in the show where this house it's just so recognizable, like compared to all the other ones. And I guess it's also because, yeah, there's like a lot of children in this house. I think it's about like 7 children living here. So it's like this very dynamic, very wild family. Everybody has like different aspirations, and I don't know, it's a really cute family. And I guess the outside of the house really portrays that family well. I don't know, have you seen the show? Feel free to tell me in the comments, and if you haven't, I really urge you to see it. Now, it's not a masterpiece, of course, but it's just, I don't know, it's kind of, you could say, it's kind of, what is that word? It's a little, it's kind of on the progressive side, which I really think is really cool, especially for like Black and POC people, and it's just, I don't know, it's just so different than the usual stuff you see. Like if you see a drama that is set in the late Victorian times, it's usually all the, I don't know, I wouldn't say boring and like cheesy, but it's usually, I don't know, been there, done that. Like, I don't know if we need that, but this kind of puts another spin on it. It's kind of like Gossip Girl, but in the late Victorian times, and it's really cool. So all of these factors make this show kind of cool and watchable. So I urge you to do it. If you're into Gossip Girl, you're gonna like that. So yeah, as you can see, I had to figure out a way to recreate the houses. Also, should I... Okay, I think I'm going to give you guys a reference pic at the beginning of the video. I didn't really think about it because I thought this house is so famous and you're not gonna need that, but now thinking of it, maybe it would be nice to do that. So I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm even going to do that for every aspect of the original house that I tried to recreate. We'll see if I think about that. Doing that. But yeah, basically I had this fencing. I saw this fencing in front of the house, and it was like this dark green fencing, and it was also a little bit overgrown, which I'm going to do later. And it had these golden details, and we really didn't have anything that could technically look like that. Also, it had like this arch with even more golden details. It was just a lot, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be able to recreate that. Like, oh my god, I will not be able to recreate that in The Sims. But I feel like I kind of managed to do it as best as I can. And yeah, here I'm trying to recreate those kind of lilac purple flowers that are growing on the front side of the house. I can't describe it any better. I hope you guys know what I mean. I think it looks marvelous in the show. It's super pretty, super unique, and I tried to recreate it, and I feel like it kind of worked. Like, the vibe is the same. Obviously, it doesn't look the same, but that's something that happens a lot, but I've talked about that numerous times in my videos where I try to recreate stuff from TV shows or like from movies, where it's just like sometimes you can't recreate it the exact way in The Sims, so you just have to go for the vibe and hope that the people will understand what you're trying to do with certain stuff. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, so there were these cute little flowers, which are always a little over the top for me, so I never use them, from the romantic garden stuff pack, and I used them for that flower detail on the front of the house, and I felt like it looked kind of nice. It's really weird because the flowers usually hang down, but like, because we can't really rotate them with tool mud, I had to just place them upwards, and it looks a little weird and unrealistic, but I feel like it does the job. And yeah, we moved on to the staircase now, and let me tell you, the staircase was a nightmare to work with because it kind of didn't, I wanted it to look similar to the movies, and not to the movies, but like to the series. And in the series, they have this nice staircase. You know what? I'm gonna give you a reference pic. I hope that I'll remember doing that. Remember to do that when I'm editing this video, but I feel like doing that so you guys know my struggles and see what the original one looks like, especially if you haven't seen the show. But basically, I wanted to make it look as similar as possible, and of course, in the stair update, since we got that update, we are able to kind of yeah, do these L-shaped stairs and all of that, so I was able to play around with that, but I quickly realized that I wasn't able to get the same look with those, and also sometimes the railings don't work as the way I want them to, because the railings work in a way where if you place them on stairs, it's going to show up on both sides of the stairs, and sometimes you don't want that. So I wish there was an option where you could just press shift. Is it shift? I hope it's shift. Where you could just press the shift key and it would just place the railings onto one side of the stairs. I don't feel like it would be that hard to do. So if any of the what am I saying? If any of the Sims developers are seeing my video right now, which is highly unlikely, can you please do that? I really want that to be a thing. Oh, also, I see that as I said, I was building this on stream, and on stream I gave you a reference pic of the house, so you were just kind of able to see what I'm trying to go for vibe-wise, and yeah, there it is. I unfortunately forgot to block it out when I recorded my stream, so this is actually footage from the stream, but it's gone already because at one point I eventually realized that it shows, and I disabled that. But yeah, as you can see, I've used those kind of railings that are from Debug from the University pack on the top of the house, because the original house also has something like that, and I felt like it was kind of a unique roofing and I liked that style, so that's what I did. And yeah, use that all around. And now we're in the garden section, and the garden section is something that you don't see in the books. I mean, there's books to Bridgerton, so I wasn't entirely wrong, but I was actually thinking about the series, and I feel like there's only like 2 scenes where that happens, and yeah, you can't really see a lot there. It's like a lot of close-ups, and also it's, what is it? Like, it's at night. It's set at night, so that's also why sometimes you can't really see what's going on there. So I kind of had to wing the garden and to put my I don't know, just work with the space we had, which was not a lot because, as I said, this house grew tremendously. I didn't think that it would be so big, but it actually turned out to be really big. And that way we didn't have a lot of space for the gardens left, but I kind of was inspired by the original gardens of that ranger's house, which kind of looks similar from the back as it looks from the front, which is kind of how I did the back of the house itself. But then I kind of tried to get the vibe from the gardens and yeah, just combine it with other visuals that we saw in the show, because there we also had a lot of these hedge gardens, if that's even a word, I don't know if that's a thing, of these hedge gardens where there's like flowers inside of them. I don't know, I'm really not a professional on like late Victorian architecture. If this is even late Victorian architecture, I don't know. But yeah, I tried to make it look special. I tried to make it look posh. I tried to make it look Tory, if you will. And I feel like I kind of got the job done. I placed a lot of these bushes from Get Together. I thought they gave up a cute look, and I also think that this build really fits well into the I keep wanting to say Bridgerton, but I mean into the Bridechester town or world, whatever you may call it, because I usually don't build there. I don't know why I would. It's like a very nice world. For me, it has definitely like a British touch, and that's also why I decided to build it on this big lot in the middle of the world. I don't even know. I think usually there's a library, and I deleted that, and I felt like this would be the perfect spot for this house. And it was quite nice because I am actually using a lot of items from university in this house, and that kind of made it fit well into the surroundings, which I quite liked. So if you want to play this, by the way, you can download my builds from my gallery. My gallery ID is paulpancake, and just like normal, like Paul Pancake, no space, no anything, just Paul Pancake. I don't know why. It's also linked down below in the description. I don't even know why whatever. And I feel like you could play in this well. It's like a very nice posh home. It also has like plumbing, which I think back in the days they didn't have, at least not in late Victorian times. So that's a little bit, not as accurate, I would say, but to make this build functional, I had to add some toilets and like bathtubs and all of that. So I did that. I gave some people en suites, and let me take another sip of my tea. As you can see, I tried to go like to customize this build as far as as well as I could, just to make it look as similar to the original as possible. So I made this little pathway, which is also in the, I don't even know, it's in the show, and it's also in the original like in front of the original house. And I created that with terrain paint, and then I basically place these debug slabs around it to kind of give it a little, like a sharper edge, and make it look a little bit more, to give it more visual interest. That was what I was looking for. And I feel like that kind of worked, because if you only use terrain paint, sometimes it could look a little effortless, if you know what I mean. And I also try to put a lot of flowers in the gardens, but still like not make it too not go crazy with it, but just to put these everywhere, but still keep it low. Because back in the days, it was kind of like they had these, I'm talking about that as if I was like literally living in the Bridgerton times, or if I would know a thing about history, but I don't know. But I've seen that in a lot of movies and reference pictures, that there were like, very arranged gardens. It wasn't as wild. So even though this house looked a little bit like, I don't know, very overgrown. That was the word I was looking for. Overgrown and stuff. I kind of wanted to keep the gardens organized still. And as you can see, we moved on to the interior, which is where the first room that I was doing was this great hall, where maybe it's even like you can call it a ballroom, I don't know, but this is like the place where they have events going on, but it's also like the great hall that they enter once they enter the house. And it's you see it a lot in the show, so this was definitely one of the rooms I really wanted to lay focus on to make it look similar. And we have a couple of those, so there were many rooms that you never see in the show. For example, you never see a bathroom. You also never see the rooms of some of the sisters or some of the maids and stuff. But there's rooms which are very prominent in the show, so I kind of tried to recreate them as much as I could. So for example, I did that window trick where I put the art into the wall and then tried to, well, I didn't try, I mean, I guess I achieved the look, but I mean, oh my god, did that sound biased? Forgive me. So yeah, I placed those windows into the arches to make it look a little better. I feel like you're gonna see that you're gonna see me do that a couple of times because it's just a nice look. And also I put those like pink flowers everywhere because that was also something that was reoccurring a lot in this Bridgerton house. And of course, the very prominent color of blue, which is, I think, the family colors. I mentioned that in my last speed build where I was like, when I posted my last speed build, I was already building on the Bridgerton house, and I feel like, I don't know, did I tell you that in the last speed build or didn't I? I don't know, but I know that I mentioned that those were the Bridgerton colors, like blue. And that's why I wore that sweater, and I wanted to do that too today, but it was in the washing and I was devastated. So I was like, wait, what could I wear instead? So I put on a red sweater because it's Valentine's Day, and also I hope, I don't know why I just currently like suddenly stopped talking about the build, but I hope that the background is also not too irritating because honestly I kind of like, please don't hate me, but I kind of like the combination of red and pink. I feel like it's a cool combination, which may be frowned upon, but I think it's cool. And I kind of like that. I felt like it was fitting into the Valentine's Day vibe. So that's why we're going for that today. And just a quick explanation. I feel like in every video I explain why I'm wearing what, and I feel like that's really not necessary, but I do it anyway. And here you go. As you can see, I added a skylight. That is a thing in the original house as well, but like not the exterior house, but the interior house. Because like I said, there was a different house used for the interior of the house, which is almost like a castle, and they had a very nice skylight. I don't even know how that skylight light looked exactly. I think it was also like a round skylight. We can't really do that in The Sims, although I feel like the pretty talented Kate Emerald, who is an amazing simmer as well, has recently posted a tutorial about something like that. Yeah, but like it's not possible in a normal way, like without using mods or a tool or anything. At least that's what I think. I don't know, like maybe I'm uninformed. If Kate, if you're watching this now, please feel free to tell me otherwise. But yeah, I added the skylight. I feel like it adds some very nice light into the house. And honestly, I've spent so many hours building this that I really don't know anymore if this house is pretty or not, at least like from the inside. I'm kind of satisfied with the outside, at least like from like the front. I know that it's like a huge square basically with some bump outs, and the bump outs are also kind of weird. Also, I haven't talked about this, but in stream I was constantly like complaining that those side parts, which have these, like in the original it's like round bump outs, but we can't do that in The Sims, so I had to make them like, is that octagonal? No, it's not octagonal. I don't even know. Is it? No. But yeah, basically I wasn't able to make the round bump outs. I had to do it differently. And I was complaining about the fact that it was like made from another type of brick. And now if any one of you guys are like architectural experts and you could tell me why that is, feel free to do that. My theory was that these left and the right part of the buildings, which you can see right now, which are like going around this stairwell area, stairwell, I don't even know what the difference is. Yeah, I feel like they were built later, you know, if that makes any sense. So that may be an explanation, but I really don't know why they used different brick. I really didn't want to do it in the recreation, but I realized that I want to stay true to, like, as true to the original as possible, so I did that. And yeah, I decorated the hallway. It's also a very prominent part of the house, so I kind of wanted to make that as similar as possible as well. And yeah, at this point I'm very optimistic that I won't forget to add reference pictures, because honestly I'm a little proud too that I was able to pull this off as similar. And now this may not be too super similar, because the thing is, I feel like a lot of the rooms and like all the scale and stuff was just so off, like I said, and that's why I still tried to keep it as small as possible, because the house from the exterior, like that was used for the exterior, is much smaller than the interior house. So I didn't want to make it too huge because at some point it would have just started looking weird, like the house having such a small kind of facade, but then it's just so huge. I don't know if I'm making sense, but yeah, so that's why I still try to keep it a little like as small as possible but as accurate as possible. So this is the saloon that I'm currently working on, and I would say that it could definitely be a little bigger, at least like one tile bigger, to make it look more like the original. But I just didn't want to invest into that tile, if that makes any sense, because the house was so huge already, and I just, I was like, okay, I'm going to try and fit in everything in this slightly smaller room, and that led to, I feel like, the house looking more cluttered than I planned it to be, because yeah, I wanted to put all of the furniture elements into this house that were prominent in the series, but because we had a little less space, it looks a little bit more cluttered and not as grand, and that's kind of something that I'm sad about. But still, I feel like you can clearly see what room is supposed to be which room and stuff, so I'm satisfied with that. But yeah, a lot of times it was like a funny situation. Oh, by the way, I saw the show, of course, and then I skipped through the whole season. I think it's like 8 episodes, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I skipped through all the episode and took screenshots of whenever the house was visible and whenever there was like an angle that really helped me to shape the house or like the room in The Sims 4. And sometimes there's like shots where the person is like going in like into a certain room, but like from the outside. So there's this guy and he walks into the house and you see an exterior shot of the house. And then he's in the house and you do know, like in your brain, that this is already a different house because they used a different house for the interior. And then he goes up the stairway and then it's a cut to a scene where he's like in a hallway and then he turns left or something. And I was like taking notes. I was like, okay, he's going left. So, and then he like enters the saloon. Okay, so the saloon must be like on the left side of that hallway. It was just really weird. Like that's the way I came up with the floor plan. So this may not be entirely accurate at all. I don't even know if the production behind the series actually had a floor plan in mind for this house, or if it was just like, yeah, it's going to be fine, like they won't care. I mean like the viewers. And yeah, but I try to base it off every little detail I was able to find in the show and in the camera movement and everything. And yeah, now this is the kitchen that I'm currently working on, and because it is seen in some scenes, I decided to keep it in the speed build, because as you can see, there's already some rooms that you didn't see me do or finish, because it's just this house has a lot of rooms. I don't even know how many bedrooms it is. Like combined with the maidens' bedrooms, it may be, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 bedrooms, I guess. So I definitely wasn't able to fit in everything, but like I said, you can download this from my gallery page and explore the build on your own. I gotta say, I had kind of a fun time touring this house and just exploring it, because I did feel a little bit as if I was right there in the Bridgerton house, so that was kind of fun. And so I was like on my own when I finished this. It was like 4 a.m. in the morning and I was like super tired, but I still kind of, I don't know, I just toured the build on my own in the free camera mode, and was just enjoying myself, you know, feeling like a proper Tory. And yeah, I think this build is I'm very happy with the way this build turned out. Some stuff could have been improved, for example, the bedroom situation. The thing is that the main character, Daphne, has a bedroom which is shown multiple times in the house, and it's huge, in the show, and it's huge. So basically, the bedroom takes as much space, and then the bedroom also has a room that kind of also belongs to Daphne, where she gets ready and stuff, where she has her vanity and her dressers and all of that. And then I also built her an ensuite. So basically that bedroom and that little extra room and stuff, it takes up more space than the saloon. And now, like I said, there's a lot of people living here, so if every bedroom would have been that size, this house wouldn't have even fit on the lot, to be honest. And it was kind of weird because I wanted to recreate that bedroom as best as I can. But then also Daphne has a mother who lives with her in the house, so I would have thought that the mother has the biggest and fanciest bedroom, but it's actually Daphne because it's so huge, and I didn't want to change a lot of proportions. I wanted to stick to the original. So the mother has like a smaller bedroom than her, but it's like the second biggest bedroom, and then her other siblings, girl, they're like they have tiny bedrooms compared to her. It's like super unfair, but at some point I was just like, okay, I can't stick to some self-made rules, you know what I mean? Because we can't see it in the show anyway, and I didn't came here to recreate those non-existent bedrooms. I came here to recreate what we're seeing in the show, what's visible. So I didn't pay that much attention to the rest of the floor plan because at some point I just wanted to get the build done. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. But yeah, other than that, I'm just creating this little, I don't know what, is it a dressing room? Can you call it a dressing room? I don't even know. But that's what I'm trying to recreate right now. And I wish like something that happened, or not something that happened, but like something I was thinking about a lot when building this house, but this is like a final thing that I want to share with you guys, is that I really want more wall swatches with like these wooden details. I really forgot the name of them right now. Is it paneling? Maybe it's paneling, like with like these like nice wallpapers, but with wooden paneling, because I felt like this for this particular building style it was lacking a bit. I always used the same ones in some sort of different swatches, and at some point it was just repetitive, and I kind of wanted to work with something different, and also with something even more bougie looking, you know what I mean? Because I feel like they're a little basic looking compared to the size of this house, but yeah, I feel like they were okay. Could have been better though. Anyway, we're heading towards the end of this video, and I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. And yeah, if you liked it, then feel free to give me a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already to join my little pen cult. I would absolutely love that. And like I said, I also stream on Twitch every Tuesday and Saturday, so if you want to drop by and say hello, I would love that. The link to that is it's down below in my description, and yeah, together with all of my social links like Twitter and Instagram. And yeah, if you want to see more builds like this, like recreations of movie or TV show homes, then feel free to tell me in the comments, also maybe with some examples or like ideas. Or if you want me to build anything else, then feel free to share that as well. I always love your creative input, and I hope to see you next time as well. Bye everybody.